Right now, I'm in Knox Landing. This is a small pocket in Bryan-College Station that you want to know about because it's only 5 different plans in this neighborhood and it's going by quickly. They already have over 5 different properties under contract, and the builder said, hey, you need to come get this neighborhood because chances is it won't last long. So in today's, we're going to tell you where Knox Landing is at, why you need to be aware of some of the opportunity that's going on here in Bryan-College Station, and if you don't know already, it's a little secret when it comes to this neighborhood, meaning you could be able to qualify for some of the USDA, meaning zero down. Now, even if you don't care about that proximity, this is one of the best. You're gonna have floor plans for 1,500 up to around 2,000 square feet, and the prices are gonna be in the lower 200, and that's very hard to find with the average prices in College Station being around 325 or 350. So let's make sure that I can start off with this beautiful model home behind me, and it's gonna be the Denton plan, 1,500 square feet, 3.2, and then from there, we're gonna actually give you a chance to take a look at this houses that they're actually building, and I'm gonna show you a few things from what to expect, how quick this development is going, where it's actually located in some of the shopping centers, all right? So let's go take a look at this and we'll talk more from there. Here in Knox Landing, let's just talk a little bit about where it's located. So we're over here off of I-30, close to Boonville. So you have your shopping centers like Walmart, Target, and a couple H-E-Bs are coming a little bit further down. But this is actually very close to the movie theaters. And if you're somebody who's coming here for Texas A&M, then this is probably one of the closest homes that you can be able to find in close proximity to Texas A&M. Say your kids are coming to school here and you say, hey, how can I find something instead of paying for housing, because most people stay off campus at Texas A&M than they do staying on campus. And if you do stay on campus, you probably wanted to make sure that you already done your reservations on the front end. And houses here, if you was looking at what a mortgage payment would be, it can range anywhere from $15,000 to maybe $2,000 as far as a mortgage goes. This area is kind of secluded, so it's old farmland that they've converted into new construction. So once again, great opportunity for you to be able to get in. Now, this house behind me is going to be one of the plans we'll look at, and some of the other plans we're going to look at, once again, they're not going to be finished because this neighborhood is being sold so fast that we've had to take people to the other neighborhoods just to see what does a finished plan look like, and that's just telling you what the opportunities are and why you want to reach out now. So as always, if you haven't already had a chance knowing that, my name is Jabari, team lead of LRE Group, and our job here is to be able to continue to give you all the information that you need to make a decision whether it's living and investing in Bryan-College Station. So this plan behind me, let's go ahead and take a look at it. It's the Denton plan. Now, I love these plans because one, they are fully furnished, and the beautiful thing about being fully furnished is you can kind of see how everything is laid out. Right when you come in, you're gonna have your vinyl plank. And now these units as a model home, and the garage, unfortunately, you won't be able to see it, but that's the door to the garage because they're using that for office space, okay? So I'm gonna have you come right in before we go into the living room. And so we have an option to go to one of the rooms. We'll check out the first bedroom. Now, this here, if you don't know, howdy Cowboys and also howdy College Station, Aggies. So this here is the first bedroom, and I just love the designs of it. And what you have here, closet space, kind of get an idea of, this room is really a guest room. It's not something for this. I think here we have about a twin size bed. It looked like a twin size bed. Does it look like a twin size bed?
It's the full.
It's a full, thank you. Hey, that's a full. Good call, it is a full. And then we're gonna have your full bathroom here. You know, so I obviously have visited this a few times, but I think it's pretty cool, like these Cowboy, and they have the dictionary words like blaze and blessed, and you have hope and horn, and then it tells you, I don't know, I think that's just pretty cool. So if you don't know, I'm not your interior designer, so although I have all the insights and the details, when it comes to designing, I leave that to somebody else. So it kind of intrigued me how they lay these things out, so you can kind of get an idea. This here is the office space. So let's take a look at these lots, because I think this will be super helpful. A few things that are available. So right now we're here in this model home, and in this model home, this is the beginning of the street. So this here, Hardy, is the main road before you turn in, Knox Landing. So this is just one full street, and I think there's over 40 lots that's going to be available. These yellow tabs are the ones that are available, red are the ones that has been sold. Just imagine, none of these homes are actually built. So how would you know what you're going to get if you haven't seen it before? And that's why these tours help. And we know where to take you. And even if not this neighborhood, we know a lot about different builders that have a lot of these models throughout town, and it saves you time when we can be able to assist you and help you. Model home here, this is the den plan, and then there's 5 other plans here right now, and they just started breaking down, I think, a couple months ago. So we're gonna take a look at maybe some of these cul-de-sac houses and go from there. And then you have Yukon Trail, so you have 2 other different builders here. And so we've done tours on that throughout our channel, whether it's Yukon Trail or Beverly Estate, and this is right in that neck of the woods, okay? So let's go out and take a look at the rest of the room. So we're gonna have our laundry room, and we'll come back here in a second, kind of get a chance to see that. But then this here, I like this nice and cozy. This is really for that person who has probably been staying like in a studio apartment. So you move from California, you're moving from places, maybe just used to smaller space. I love the color palettes they have here. So you have this countertop, they have the matching cabinets, lighter brown, and then the vinyl plank flooring. Most of the time, this is always gonna come with your Whirlpool stove and microwave, and then you have your built-in pantry inside of here. And then depending on where you're at, we can be able to get your refrigerator included as well. I like this open space, and this is the part I love about kind of getting a chance to see, all right, this here is a beautiful layout. If I'm wanting to say, this is where I want my family and everybody to be able to hang out, this is where the TV will be set up. And oftentimes when you have nothing here, it's hard to see. But this also gives you a chance to realize, okay, what type of furniture you need. Now this is a long L shape, but maybe you decide, hey, I want to have a 3-seater and then have my love seat over here. Completely up to you, but that's kind of how it's laid out right now. Very open, and then you can see how this opened up to the dining room area. Right over here where you'll have family time, and then I love here, you can have an additional 3 seats. Depending on the size stools, you maybe can fit 4 in there. Before we go into that room, let's take a look on this outside. Now, just a small tip. Anytime you have a house that's on the corner, you're always gonna get more yard. Now, because this is a model home, this was cut off a little bit because they're gonna do something here, and we can see the stakes that has been marked off. Come over here real quick. You can get a chance, and maybe even through the drone shots, you can be able to see kind of where it's located. But the cool thing about corner lots and model home is you're gonna get the most yards, and it's kind of open right now. So if you look over here, you probably will see, hey, it's not limitless. You know, it's gonna go all the way that way. Good backyard for your hairy, fuzzy friend, and have the irrigation system that is built in here as well, and have those little rain systems over there. Let's go take a look at the main room. Now, they've done a good job here. So cool indented ceiling. You can be able to get a chance to see. Now, this is gonna be definitely a queen size bed that's fitting here. But I love, so they've designed this wall, because most of the time these walls are white. Very nice flow, very nice feel. And I just love how they kept the black and white kind of brown color just throughout. And so as we go into the bathroom, you're gonna have your good shower. That's some good plexiglass too. Look at there, got your good old coconutty oil. Oh, and then right here, now this would generally be a door. I think they just, for the model purposes, they probably gonna keep it like this. So they do sell the models, and then eventually this, oh my goodness. That's a pretty deep closet, deeper than I expected. But for those who are the ones who's gonna be putting out a lot of clothes, you can like, well, this is either my side or this is like your corner. I get the rest of the closet. Now, most of the time they always have their wireless router in here. So just keep that in mind as you'll be using that for that as well. So a few things we'll do here is as we go down the street, I'm gonna just talk about a couple things more about the neighborhood HOA things that you need to be aware of, just so you know HOA is not super horrible. So let's go walk down the street so we can know more about some of the other build outs that's here in this area and go from there. As we walk down, you can see some of the lots already and the houses behind me that's being built. A few things about Knox Landing, because it's such smaller development in a very popular area, I want you to know the benefits. And one of the high benefits that people don't know is that when you're living in that Bryan-College Station area or anything in proximity, you're gonna pay on a higher tax rate. Generally, higher tax rates can be 2.4 or 2.6, and you may have questions around school, what districts, what school zone it's gonna be in. We'll be doing a little bit more breakdown from our last video. We actually talked about school districts, so make sure you stay tuned to that, and I'll tell you what school district this is in. But the taxes, let's start there. So the taxes in this neighborhood is 1.99. So because it's still on the outskirts, this would have College Station address, but it will still kind of be in a Bryan district. And that, I know it's gonna sound crazy if I had so many people moved out here and they've already asked questions, but the cool thing about that is that you're getting a better tax rate by staying in this neighborhood and still in town, okay? Now, HOA is gonna be $400 a year. It's nothing to worry about, and that's really gonna be regular maintenance. People have horror stories when it comes to HOA, and I've never seen HOA to be a big concern or issue here. So I'll just tell you, don't get too messed up or jacked up about HOA here. I'm gonna read this off. Now, utility companies, it's only really one utility company in Bryan, so it's gonna be BTU. Now, you will have a Wixon Creek for water, and generally Brazos Wi-Fi is gonna be in this area. Now, schools. Now, you have some of the public schools gonna be Bryan High, and you have Bowen Elementary, Sam Rayfield Intermediary, and SFA Middle School, and Bryan High. So because it's in that Bryan district, you're gonna be able to go to those Bryan schools as well. So, and sometimes because of the location, you're like, man, this is closer to College Station, and that's the beautiful thing a lot, especially if you're someone who's staying close to campus, okay? A few things to keep in mind. You do have like Grand Station, which is an entertainment space. We take the kids, you wanna go bowling, you wanna go, they have laser tag?
Yeah.
Okay, laser tag, they have arcades, even putt-putt golf. So that's a cool family outing. If you're definitely someone who always trying to figure out things to do with the kids, you can do Grand Station, Pop Stroke. And then because of where this is located, you have power sports. So if you are someone like, ever had senior kids where they want to do the, what is it called, the Ninja courses, that's a cool spot. And so this is literally very close to power sports. So because of where this is located, once again, I think it is the prime area for someone like you who's gonna wanna know, okay? And say, now generally, if you have any other questions about like the neighborhood, what to expect, what things are gonna look like, let me know. Now, what's gonna be difficult if you're that person that needs to see the final product, I'm going to point or give examples of what this will look like. This is the exact same thing I've had to tell several people to do when they are looking at houses and they don't know what to expect, okay? Because they are building so fast and they're getting them up, it's gonna be hard to see some of the final products. And because we're going to the summertime, you may be relocating, or you may somebody who's seen this video and is a little bit older, you're still running into the issue where, man, I want to explore my options before I make a decision. And oftentimes I've heard Jabari say, man, you need to go understand what's available to you. And like budget-wise, dollar price per square footage, this is gonna be probably your best bet, okay? There's a few plans in this neighborhood. It's gonna be the Bellevue, the Texas Cali, the Denton, the Fargo, and the Lakeway. Now, the Lakeway will be something that we'll glance at here in a second. That is gonna be like the model home. If you're familiar with a neighborhood called Pleasant Hill, you can be able to look at one of our videos that tour Pleasant Hill, but that home itself is one of the most popular ones, 2,000 square feet house. And we'll take a look at that, kind of get an idea. You can look at that video, or of course just reach out and schedule so that I can be able to take you if someone is relocating here. So let's see here. Okay, so if you know anything about me, I consider myself to be an investor agent. So this is fun and cool to me. Now, I'll tell you, just skip or go look at the videos if you want to see what this looked like. I'm going to kind of step into a little bit of that investor mindset and help you visualize. And also, if you're that person who wants to kind of embrace that more and learn more, hey, just walk with me. I'm going to kind of talk more of that language and help you understand what's going on and how to see these things. But so right now we're in what's called the shell stage. So it's still a shell because you see the framing. You see when you look up, they got the roof on. They have most of the stuff in place. But the cool thing I like is that you can see some of the material that they put underneath here to kind of make sure that it's basically going to be protected. So this is going to be where the water heater is going to be at. So you can see the piping that's coming, and that's where it's going to sit. The cool thing is that I know this is the garage. And so let's go here into this area. And now the lakeway, what's pretty interesting is when you walk in here on the lakeway, you see the video, you see there is a bedroom and this is the bathroom. Now, the thing about it is you gotta visualize. So when you walk in here, I know right here to the right, this is where my closet is gonna be. Now you may say, hey, well, you're looking through a wall. Well, this wall you won't be able to look through because eventually you're gonna have sheetrock that's gonna be put up there. Then you say, well, hey, how do I know about a bathroom that's gonna be coming here? Well, oftentimes when you're building something in this stage, you have to make sure plumbing is put in at the proper time and you wanna get inspections. And so what we always do is for all my clients, I recommend getting an inspection so that all this has been done correctly. And when we've had people who've done custom builds or investments, we know certain things need to be done at a certain time because you don't want issues and you have to rip everything out, okay? That's that, and then this is the study. This study room, if you look on that lakeway, it's a beautiful desk in that area where you can kind of get an idea of it. And then we just walk in here, normal construction site, and it may be a little hard to visualize, but this is the living room. That's where the kitchen is gonna be. Then you're gonna end up having your refrigerator here. This is gonna be your pantry, and this is gonna be your microwave and stove because that is your ventilation system. And even if you look up, you can see the ductwork of the airflow that's coming in and that's coming out, and making sure you're getting good AC. So this is my dining room area. So this is where you'll put your dining room table at. If we go in here, let's just look at the main bedroom. And this main bedroom is this is the laundry room, excuse me. So this is the laundry room. You can see the hot and cold water. So I have to set up right here. And this is your dry vents. And these dry vents goes all the way through to make sure it's going outside. And then here is your main bedroom. Now, you can tell the ceilings are gonna be a tad bit designed. As you can see, it slopes down. And this here is probably gonna be good enough. So you see both windows, good aluminum windows here, and you're gonna have your bed that's gonna be here. And then if we go to the left, your right is gonna be sink. So this sink here, you have a double sink. You have a walk-in shower. So just imagine, at some point, this is actually gonna be a shower, but it's not right now. And then you have your closet right here. And so this is where it's gonna be the good old closet space. And then you'll have your stall right here. This is just one of the popular plans, Lakeway. Let's go take a look out here and wrap it up. The cool thing is right now I'm in the back of this plan. And if you look down there, that's where our model home was at. But right across, this here is Reveille Estate. So you see they are also building as well. Now we sold homes in this neighborhood and in this neighborhood as well. And the thing that we know is where these houses are at. Let me give you a small insight. Most of the time when you look up an address on certain loan products, because you generally have people who say FHA, or if I'm a first-time home buyer, how can I qualify for certain plans? So even if you're relocating, I had someone who just moved from California here, and I think this is important, is because they moved from California, they didn't think they could buy a house, and they have done everything that they could. But when you think about it, 20% down of a house that's almost close to $1 million, well, it's just to discourage you from thinking. And so if you're that person who's relocating here and you're thinking about, hey, I want to own a house in Texas, I think this is not only a great opportunity, but if you come in this area, it can be able to get access to the same thing they got access to. So what USDA is, it's a rural development loan. A rural development loan means it's outside of the normal city limits. So the beautiful thing about that, it can qualify for very lower incentivized, not only down payment, but then too, they have incentives when it comes to interest rate. Now, interest rate in the market right now is anywhere from 4 to 5%, maybe even 7, depending on the lenders you use. So I always tell people, reach out to us first, because when you have somebody like us on our LRE team to assist you and guide you, you can be able to make sure we think through all the financial aspects that's going to help you make the best decision for your family. Because you can maybe go out there yourself, or you can research some online, go to all these different websites, or even chat, go to the AI chats and ask the questions. But what I've noticed is that you're still gonna have questions. You're still gonna have, confusion or something that you just don't know. And it's not your job to get a PhD in buying a house. That's why we're here, and that's why we created this channel. That is this neighborhood, and that's one of the reasons it came up, because a lot of these homes that you can see that's already built, that they have pretty much figured out. And now this video will say, hey, well, let's come in and let's give even better houses and incentives, okay? All that to say is, I thank you for watching this video, and my job is very solely is to be able to impact your family and your legacy. Even if you're relocating here, whether you're a first-time home buyer, or you're somebody who bought a home before, you just want to find a great option for you and your family, or if it's just you and maybe you're smaller and niche, you don't want much, regardless of where it's at, I ask that you reach out to us so that we can be able to answer whatever questions you do have about you relocating to the Bryan-College Station area. And remember, your legacy begins when your excuses end. All right, we'll see you in the next video.